When you think about it, every great story, every biography, every single memory you share, they all have a secret weapon. And that weapon is grammar, specifically the simple past tense. It's the key that unlocks every story that's ever happened. So let's dive in and see how you can become a master storyteller.
So let's get right into it. How do we actually talk about the past? Well, to make this all feel real, we're going to follow the incredible life story of one of the world's most famous people, Oprah Winfrey. Her amazing journey is going to be our guide to mastering the simple past.
First up, let's start with the most common kind of verb you're going to use when telling stories about what's already happened, the regulars. Think of these as the good guys. They're reliable, they're predictable, and they are the absolute backbone of our stories.
And here's the golden rule, the one you'll be using pretty much all the time. You just take the verb and you stick ed on the end. That's it. It really is that simple. So, for example, the verb work becomes, you guessed it, worked. And this is where Oprah's story really brings this to life. Just look at this. Her father worked in a coal mine. Her mother cleaned houses. For a time, Oprah lived with her grandma. Later on, she studied drama at university and started reading the news at a local radio station. See how that works? Her entire story is being built, piece by piece, with these simple ed verbs. Okay, so adding ed to the end of a word is easy enough to write, but saying it? Yeah, that can be a little tricky, right? It doesn't always sound the same. This is where a lot of people get tripped up. But don't worry, we're going to sort this out right now.
Believe it or not, there are three main sounds. For a word like worked, the and has a crisp T sound, worked. Hear that? Then you have lived, which has a softer D sound, lived. And for verbs that already end in a T or D sound, like start, we add this whole extra syllable, id. It becomes started. Listen again, worked, lived, started. Nailing this will make your English sound so much more natural, for sure.
All right, so we've got the rules down. Now, it's time to meet the rule breakers. Not all verbs are as predictable as our friends the regulars. So welcome to the wild side of grammar, the irregular verbs.
Yep, these guys do not play by the rules. They completely ignore the whole ed thing and just do their own thing. You can really think of them as the rebels of the grammar world. And yeah, they can be a bit of a headache, but honestly, they're what make the language so dynamic and interesting.
And this slide just lays it all out perfectly. Look at work, it becomes worked. You can still see the original verb in there, right? But then you look at an irregular one like make, and bam, it completely transforms into made. There's no ed in sight. These are the ones you just kind of have to memorize.
To really see these rebels in action, let's check out a different story. This is entrepreneur Ben Way. Now, get this. At only 15 years old, he began his own company. By 17, he made his first million. In 2000, he won a huge award. But then, just 1 year later, he lost it all. What a roller coaster, right? And his whole dramatic story is told using these powerful irregular verbs.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, how many of these are there? Well, there are quite a few, but you don't need to learn them all at once. Here are the big ones, the essentials you'll see all the time. Be turns into was or were, go becomes went, have becomes had. If you're going to start anywhere, these are the ones to learn first. Fantastic. So now we can make positive statements about the past. We can talk about what did happen. But that's only half the picture, isn't it? To get the full story, we need to be able to ask questions and, of course, say that something didn't happen. And to do all of that, we have a secret weapon, a hero, really. And that hero is the little word did. Seriously, this one word is going to make your life so much easier. It does all the heavy lifting for us when we're making questions and negatives in the past tense. So, how does our hero work? Well, for questions, it's a simple recipe. You start with did. Then you add the person or thing you're talking about, and then, this is super, super important, you use the original verb, the base form, no ed. Why? Because did already did the time travel for us. So we ask, did Oprah live with her grandmother? Not did Oprah lived. See the difference? And the answer, by the way, is yes, she did.
And for negatives, it's just as simple. Our hero did just adds a not and becomes didn't. And just like with questions, use the base form of the verb. So, we know Oprah's parents were poor. They didn't have much money. Notice it's didn't have, not didn't had. And for Ben Way, he didn't leave school at 15, he left when he was 16.
All right, we've covered a lot. We've got our regular verbs, our grammar rebels, and our hero did for all our questions and negatives. We officially have all the tools in the toolbox. Now for the best part, it's your turn. Your turn to tell your stories.
And just to make sure it all sticks, here it is. Everything we've covered all in one place. This is your alternate cheat sheet for the simple past. Look, whether the verb is regular, like work, or irregular, like go, the structure for negatives and questions is exactly the same. You always use our hero, did or didn't. If you only remember one thing from this, let it be that.
So, I'm going to leave you with this. A question, just for you. Think about it. Using everything we've just covered, what did you do yesterday? You now have all the tools you need to tell that story. Go on, give it a try.